The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Mark on line 2, you're on a radio show. Good morning.
Hi, Peter. How are you this
Brother,
morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, I'm new to your show.
Okay.
I actually never listened. I've never listened to you before, but I found out from the internet a couple of days ago that you had a guest on Carl Gallups.
Yes.
And he made an astounding revelation that he and Mike Zullo have now identified the forger. So this morning I went on to various news websites, and to my horror and to my shock, I see that there's no criminal charges filed anywhere.
Well, first of all, thanks for finding the show. How did you find the show?
I was over on a website called the Bertha Report.
Oh, sure, of course. And
I found out about it over there.
Oh, cool.
So,
are you a local guy?
Why? What's that?
Are you local, or are you listening on the internet?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Where?
Pittsburgh.
Get out of town. We're in Pittsburgh.
I live in Squirrel Hill. You know where that is?
You know where Verona is?
Yeah.
I grew up in Verona.
I shopped there.
I grew up in Verona, yeah.
By the river?
Yeah, right on the river. I mean, that was a steel mill town, and now the mills are gone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I shop there. They've got a lot of antique shops.
Yeah, that's
down
right.
there.
It's all turned into like it doesn't. I was there 2 years ago. I don't recognize it. Steel mill towns are gone. Yeah, they're gone. Anyhow, long story short. First of all, appreciate it. Other people have identified other people. What? And Gallup's coming on this morning, by the way, in about 45 minutes. He claims, speaking for Zullo, that they identified John Brennan. Other people.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, serious as a heart attack.
My God, that is universal.
I know, but it's not. I mean, it's not because other people believe it's other people. I personally believe it's this guy that I have dubbed Jimmy down the hall. He's just some computer kid. And the reason I'm saying this, and this is for later, if you go look at Barack Obama's birth certificate, as you probably well know, it's layered, it's computer generated. But having said that, when it gets to father's race, and it says African, Mark, if you search every birth certificate in Hawaii, 5 years before, 10 years after, and you look for, a black kid, whether his mother's white, his father's white, doesn't matter. I mean, but if they're, the mom could be black, the dad could be black. No one says African. During that time period, they would say Negro or colored, which was not, now politically correct. You must say African American, although his father was African. Africa is a continent; it's not a race.
Right.
And so you would, you and I was. By the way, I was born in St. Margaret's, but you would have, you would have like the big C, Caucasian. Yeah. Or it would say Negro. Right. But in politically correct terms, you can't say colored or Negro anymore. So this is just my belief that some computer noggin who built that for the president, or built that, he used African as a race, which of course it isn't. African is no more a race than North American is a race, or American is a race. It's not a race, or European. It's not a race.
Well, if John Brennan faked it, you'd think he'd be smarter.
Well,
that's
why I disregard that. But we're in a mystery, so who knows who's saying what? But
so you're saying who's Gallup say it is?
Well, Gallup says Zullo believes, and this is what, again, Lawrence Sellin will be with us as well, that they believe it's John Brennan. But, John...
there's no way he could have done it.
I agree.
He's smarter than
brother,
make that fake-ass birth certificate. It's too poorly forged to be done by the CIA.
You and I agree.
I mean, if anybody did it, it's probably Valerie Jarrett.
Well, again, I don't think it was Valerie Jarrett. I think they may have been people that told other people to do things, but actually physically doing it, I don't think Valerie Jarrett has the skills any more than I have the skills to do it.
Yeah. Well, when Mr. Gallups comes on, can you ask him where's the criminal charges at?
Well,
if they know who the forger is, file the charges.
But again,
what are they waiting for?
This is the mystery of the whole thing. All right, let's do this. Please say good morning and welcome back to both of these men. Colonel Lawrence Sellin is with us and Pastor Carl Gallups is with us. Let's begin at the top. Carl, are you there with us? Good morning.
I'm here, Peter. I'm here, Lawrence. God bless you guys. Thanks for having me.
Mr. Colonel Sellin, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
All right, let's begin at the beginning, as I said in Alice in Wonderland. We, interesting enough, there's a birther website, and there were people saying things on that website that I would not have Carl Gallups on the radio show. And I thought it was interesting because we go after people to have them on the radio show to talk about the birther and who the fact Barack Obama is. Having said those things, being very, very, very frank, Carl came on the radio show, and as Colonel Sellin writes, info to Peter, I listened to Gallup's interview. Gallup said nothing except two things, and those two confirm what I've known for some months, or more accurately, pieces of which I'd known. In fairness, Carl, I mean, I said this to you publicly and privately, that I didn't get anything out of what you were telling us, and Colonel did not either.
Yes,
So,
I know you said that, but I answered the question and told you new stuff. You know, before you guys, listen, I heard your show yesterday. Before you guys tag team me and double team me, I would really like the opportunity to clear up some duplicity and misconceptions and ubiquitous
it's all yours.
Untruths from yesterday's show.
Sir, it's all yours. Clean it up.
Okay, yeah, well, thanks. First of all, I have some breaking news for you and your audience. John Brennan is not the forger. Mike Zullo nor I have ever said that to anyone, anytime, anywhere. So there's some good breaking news that ought to clean it up. Now, again, thank you for letting me have the floor, and I know you're going to want to ask me questions later, but that's just a statement of fact. Second of all, Lawrence, you know... You said that you were asking questions about Zullo's law enforcement powers and his authority. Well, if you knew about the 200-point affidavit that Zullo submitted to the Alabama Supreme Court and Judge Roy Moore's court, you would know that that affidavit started off with a lengthy description of Zullo's law enforcement powers and the authority from which it was derived. You would know that. Also, it's obvious that you listen to my radio show, or at least segments posted on the Internet, because you repeat basically everything that I say and then attempt to tear it down. You would have known, Lawrence, that I have interviewed Joe Arpaio personally on my radio program, Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups, and I asked Joe Arpaio the same question you asked, Lawrence. I asked him, I said, is Mike Zullo a bona fide law enforcement officer with authority and powers as a law enforcement officer from your department? And he said, absolutely. And then he went into a lengthy description. So, you know, I got to say, Lawrence, you know, either you know these things or you don't. If you don't, then all you're doing is speculating. Peter, I listened to your show yesterday, and I got to say, I was blown away by the nefarious nature of your show. Every statement I've ever posted about you, every video I've ever put up, every time I've mentioned your name, I have always done all of it with the utmost of respect.
All right, stop right there.
And with
stop right there. I did not attribute any of that to you. I said things were said, and Lawrence knows them.
I'm getting ready to explain
just
the
a minute.
context.
All right, hang on a second. Now, you and I both know, and Lawrence knows, and anybody who looks on the Internet, they were like really weird attacks that were coming at me, of all people, as Mr.
I know.
And I thought
I can answer that.
And I didn't. But let's be honest and straight up, it isn't worth it. It's a lot of inside baseball. But I'm saying to you, I never once said that you posted those things.
I know.
Right.
No. Listen, I'm only going to deal in truth and facts, and I will explain the context to everything.
Okay, but let's agree on that. Let's agree on number one, and I'm going to come back to Larry and have him say what he wants to say. But stop right there. We're trading. Would you say that the things that I said that were said on the Internet about this radio show and me, I never once said that you did it?
You did not, but Sellin and I believe you guys speculated that I may have been involved.
That is absolutely not true either.
Well, I've got the recording.
Well,
I heard you guys speculate.
You can go to the recording as much as you want.
Well,
but
listen,
it was not. Let's go to Larry. No, stop. Let's stop. Mr. Let's go to the Colonel for a second. Larry, what would you like to say in response to what Carl said?
Well, I think, first of all, I didn't say, and I don't think anybody said that John Brennan was a forger. I have said that I have heard that he's from sources that he's might be involved, and so I think that's wrong.
Okay, he's not. I think
he's
not.
Yeah, look, I think I think that, did Mike Zullo tell you he's not?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
Peter?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, well, there's
Gallups,
two of us on, so you're going to have to tell me who you're talking to. Yes, Peter, yes. No, when I heard that on yesterday's show, and a caller even this morning said that I had said that, I mean, I called Mike Zullo after I heard it on the show. I said, Mike, is there something you're not telling me about John Brennan? He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, Sellin was intimating that you somehow told him that John Brennan was the forger. And he said,
No. Nobody ever said that, Carl.
Peter, you asked me, Peter, and I'm trying to answer your question. You asked me a question.
Carl,
this is crazy. All right, this is crazy.
Please calm down, Carl. Calm down.
Peter, I'm calm. You asked me a question,
you're
and
saying,
before I answered it, you start telling me that that's not true.
Carl, you're saying, Peter, that's Larry talking.
Okay. All right.
But let me tell you what was said, because I kept good notes.
All right.
It said, no, you listen. It said, and this is Colonel Sellin's point. The forensic analysis, the software analysis of the birth certificate is a forgery. Can the three of us agree on that?
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. Having said that, could it have been created on government computers in government facilities supervised by John Brennan? Colonel?
I think it could have, and I have information to that regard. So I'm not backing away from that. I'm saying I don't know for sure,
right,
but
so
these are the information
back to Carl.
And I'm telling you,
Carl, don't jump into this conversation yet, please. You get your turn. What I'm saying to you is,
I doubt that.
You can doubt something else in about 2 seconds. When I'm telling you, that's exactly what was said. It had nothing to do with you or anything to do. Now, the next question had nothing to do with what you said on the radio show. The next one is, does Arpaio and Zullo know the exact person or persons who created the birth certificate?
Yes.
That's on you. They do.
Yes.
All right, they do. And you know the name of that person.
All I'm allowed to say is that I know that they know who has done it.
So let me get this straight. So people who cannot speak outside of a criminal investigation choose a pastor who has a radio show to tell them the truth. Is that what we're to believe here?
Well, now, see, that was something else I was going to address.
Please do.
Okay, but first, I want to finish answering the question you asked me.
I'm waiting.
What was the question that you
please.
that you guys came in on me a few moments ago? What was it?
Was the notion of John Brennan. Not one time did I say that you said Brennan did it. Not one time did Larry say.
Okay, I remember the question now. You asked me, did I get that information that Brennan didn't do it from Zullo? I was in the process of answering that when you guys interrupted me. May I finish that? That's a very legitimate question.
All right, go ahead.
And I have a legitimate answer. Yes, I called Zullo, and I said, I'm hearing that it's being intimated that you have told Lawrence that Brennan was involved.
That's wrong.
Never
Are
was
you
said.
going to let me answer this?
You're not going to run.
Nobody
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm trying to tell you what I said to Zullo and what he said to me. I could be wrong. I'll admit that. Now, may I finish answering the question?
Could I interrupt with Peter?
Sure.
What really gets me here is that remarkable claims have been made, and no evidence has been provided for these remarkable claims. And yet, when people question it, they get extremely offended. And they demand to be on the radio to repeat these remarkable claims without
I
any
have
evidence.
never demanded anything. You do not know what you're talking about. I have never demanded anything. May I finish answering the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Peter. Admitting that I could be wrong in what I thought I heard, I will admit that. But you asked me what I got from Zullo, and I'm trying to tell you, so I called him, and I said, did you ever say to anyone that Brennan was the forger? Because he's never said it to me, ever, and we talk every day. He's been on my show multitudes of times. I said, you've never said it on the show. You've never said it publicly. Arpaio's never said that. Where did this come from? And Mike Zullo said, Carl, Brennan is not the forger, and I have never said that to anyone. So there's my answer. Thank you for letting me answer it.
Nobody else has said that.
No one else has said it either.
Well, it has been intimated, and so I'm just clearing it up. I'm just clearing it up.
Stop right here. Stop right here. Because this is going nowhere quick. What I'm saying to everyone, by the way, it's September the 23rd, 12 after the hour. This is Colonel Lawrence Sellin and Pastor Carl Gallup. Now, you're telling me that these people will speak to no one else. This is a criminal investigation, as the Colonel has said and others have said. In a criminal investigation, nobody speaks outside of the investigation. But one person, you, has all the information that's taking place in this internal investigation. So cards on the table.
Yes, cards on the table.
Cards on the table. What are they going to tell us when this is done?
Yeah. Well, do I get to speak?
You get as much time as you want. If you get, without double speaking, can you tell me what it is exactly?
I haven't double spoken
Yes,
yet.
you have. Yes, you have. But
where did I double speak? What did I say?
Just tell me what Arpaio and Zula are going to tell the American people.
Peter, where did I double speak?
The whole thing has been. You had 45 minutes on a radio show, and you said nothing in 45 minutes. Having said that, I come back again. You haven't said anything yet this morning. Let me try you again. What is Arpaio going to tell us? What is Mike Zullo going to tell us about Barack Obama?
I am not at liberty to disclose.
Then why are we doing
before
this?
They do.
Then
before they do.
All right. When are they going to do it? But in this criminal investigation, you're the one person not in the inner circle, right, Larry? They choose a talk show host who's a pastor in Florida to tell all this information to.
And I can give you the answer to that, Peter, if you will allow me.
One more time.
I can tell you why.
Why?
Last Friday on your show, you opened your show by asking, Carl, tell the audience who you are, how you're involved in this, and what is your relationship to Mike Zullo. I took 12 minutes answering.
Just tell me why they choose you.
I'm getting ready to. I did it Friday. Now I'm going to do it again. I told you the entire story of my relationship.
Just tell me why.
I'm getting ready to do it again.
This is crazy.
I told you the entire story of my relationship with Mike Zullo. It first started out as I was simply a media output source of information for him. Then we developed a relationship, talking a lot off air. Then he understood of my previous law enforcement background as a deputy sheriff, a uniformed patrol officer, and doing criminal investigations. He understood my background as a 30-year pastor in one church, my ability to keep confidentiality. He developed a trust. We went to Washington together. We went in and out of congressmen's offices together on Capitol Hill. Then he developed that trust, and he wanted to share this information with me to keep me abreast. Also, he has said publicly, and I have said publicly, that he also is using me as a simple matter of protection, because not only is there an inner circle of law enforcement that knows all of this and what to do if something happens to Zullo or Arpaio in this whole situation, but he also wanted another source outside of the circle, and because of his trust over years, he chose to use me in that regard. I make no apologies for it. I didn't ask for it. I don't want this position, but he asked if I would. I told you that on your show Friday, and I'm telling you again today. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, Peter, this is what's so preposterous about this. I mean, Pastor Gallups claims that Arpaio is fully backing this, and this is a law enforcement
not investigation. He said that.
In fact, that's what my point is. That why is he going through a Florida pastor with a talk show instead of going through? Arpaio has a spokesperson who represents the sheriff's office. This whole arrangement to me seems quite.
I am not. I have said many times. I've said many times that I am not the official spokesperson. I don't know everything they know. There's a whole lot that I don't know. Well, but the things that he has revealed, I do report, and I do interviews from coast to coast every week.
All this does is really just damage the truth that eventually.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
I told you the truth. You asked me a question, and you never let me complete a sentence.
Do this. We have about 3 or 4 minutes left. I'll turn it totally over to you. Tell Mr. Colonel Sellin, myself, anyone listening, because tons of people in the investigation are listening this morning. Tell us.
Oh, I know. In fact, I'm going to go through all this on my show Friday.
No, tell us one thing that we have never heard before that you've gotten from Mike Zullo about Barack Obama's life. Just prove that you really have this inside stroke. Tell me one thing. Tell Colonel one thing. Tell everybody listening one thing that you learned from Mike that none of us know.
Well, first of all, on your show Friday, I revealed several new things that Zullo has never.
No, you didn't.
Let me finish. You're not going to let me finish answering your question?
You didn't tell me anything I haven't heard before. Now tell us one thing.
Oh, yes, I did, because you said so, and so did Sellin.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Well, tell me.
Look,
this is crazy. I'm about ready to pull the pin. Tell me the one thing again that I never heard before.
Well, of course you are. I said on your show 3 times that I had exclusive information to release to your audience, and you never asked me to
do it right now. Do it right now.
Actually, because of the way this is going, I'm going to release it on my show Friday.
All right, good, man. You do it on Friday.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I will.
Anything else, Colonel? Anything you want to ask?
No, this is turning into an endless drum roll.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, because you asked me a question. Listen, I'm a 30-year pastor.
I don't
guys.
care what you are.
I
really don't
lie.
care.
I don't lie. I do these interviews every week.
Then tell us the one thing that you told me that you want to say to the audience. Do it now. Make your stroke.
The one thing that I want to say, what are you going to give me one thing and then cut me off?
No, just say it.
Okay, well, I'm going to answer your question you asked a moment ago about what did I share that was new. And all I'm trying to tell you, you guys might have speculated these things, but Zulo never revealed this to anybody anywhere except on your show Friday.
What is it? What is it? Say it again.
I'm getting ready to.
Jesus.
Please, let me answer your question. First of all, I said that Zulo said unequivocally that Fuddy was not involved in the forgery. He's never said that publicly anywhere.
No one ever believed she was involved in the forgery.
Well, but that's not true. A lot of people have
not
believed that.
Not me and not Larry. I didn't believe it.
But I was releasing that information on your show Friday. It was brand new. Second of all, I released the brand new information that Mike Zulo now says publicly, unequivocally, he knows who is involved. He knows who did it, and people have been asking that for years. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? And Zulo wouldn't go there, but now he says yes. Again, 3 times I said I had exclusive information.
That's not new. That's not information. All that is a statement that somebody knows something. That's hardly information.
Well, you asked me for exclusive information.
You know what? If I got a feeling
I was going to give it.
I got a feeling if I asked you what time it is, you would tell me how to make a watch.
Why would you say that?
Because you just double speak, double talk, and jive. Larry, if I'm asked...
Give an example of double speak.
Just
Where have I double spoken?
You just did. Larry, come back to something. I said, tell me something we don't know. He said, what I know, and that's not knowledge. He's doing speculation again that Zulo knows who did it. Now, is that any new information at all to you, Larry?
No.
We got to end this. We got to end this. All right.
So you knew that Zulo knows who it was.
How
did you know that? How did you know that?
No, what you're saying is like me saying, you know what? I know who Barack Obama's real father is, but I just know it. And you say to me, no, wait a minute. You say to me, who is it? It's like, I can't tell you. And then and that's knowledge
that you guys know about this case. You've heard it from Mike Zulo revealing it on my show.
That is not true. You're out of your mind. I never listened to your show.
Yeah, well,
I've never once heard your show. I have no idea who you are until you showed up on some bird.
Now there's an example. There's an example of your double speak.
I don't know who you are.
You told Peter Sellin you don't know who I am. Okay, yet when I was on your show Friday, you introduced me by saying, oh, I've interviewed you before on another radio station.
That's not true.
I know who you are.
I knew who you were from the birth of
Then you continued to talk about what a great guest I was.
You started, and you just
took the conversation from a 15-minute interview to a 1-hour interview.
Because you wouldn't say anything.
Me back today.
Because you would not
know who I am.
You would not say anything. I'm done with this, Larry. Anything you want to add?
No, as I said, I think this is just an endless drum roll, I think it's a bit.
I'll just use a line from a movie. You guys can't handle the truth. That's the problem
truth?
Here.
What have you said? What have you said?
What have I said that's been untrue? What have I said that's been untrue?
What have you said that's been anything other than doublespeak?
What have I said that has been untrue?
Larry, have you heard anything?
You can't answer that, can you? You can't answer it, can you?
Well, you know what?
What have I said that's been untrue?
You have not said anything.
What have I said that's been untrue? You cannot answer that.
You have not said anything.
All right, that's not the answer. That's not an answer.
This is how these guys are.
What have I said that has been untrue? Where have I given a false statement?
That's my point. In 45 minutes now, in another 20 minutes, you have said zero. You have said nothing.
I've answered every question you've asked me. What have I said
anybody
that's
else?
untrue?
Larry, anything else?
No, I think this is hopeless.
I do too. All right, you guys.
Well, because you can't handle the truth.
That's it. You got it. All right, man. All right, that's it, everybody. All right. That went on and on and on, and that'll be on the internet on the Birther Report as well. The guy doesn't say anything, and he claims that he has the inside track to this, and you know what? He doesn't. No one does.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.